everybody, it's Lee Caraher, and this is Everything Speaks, where we talk about how everything you do and say speaks for you, if you want it to or not, in public relations, in internal communications, in strategic communications, in personal communications, and everything we do. That your words and your tone and your timing and your body language all lines up together to deliver the point you want to make and to have it land and stick. Today, we're going to talk about how often when someone says, just get to the point, that you don't actually get to make the point. And I think that often this advice, just get to the point, you don't have to give them all the context, just give them, TLDR it, blah, blah, blah. This is dead wrong. Often dead wrong. And particularly for major decisions and major situations. And we all say it, right? We all say it. Cut to the chase. Don't bury the lead. Just get to the point. Those kind of things. And if you take this advice, it's often killing your impact. That bottom line, without context in a complicated situation, is like a punchline without the joke. They all fall flat. And people don't get it. Like, why is that the bottom line? Just get to the point. What? Right? The real issue is that when people say get to the point, they don't actually want speed. They're asking for clarity. The big difference. What they're really saying, I think, is I'm confused. You've lost me the details. I don't see why this matters. The fix isn't faster delivery to get to the end. The fix is better structure in your discussion to make your point. I'm going to say it again. Get to the point. The fix is not faster delivery. The fix is better structure in the conversation. So why does context beat speed every single time? Imagine you're presenting your Q3 results and lead with a punchline. We grew revenue by 12% in Q3. Okay, good. But you haven't talked about why this is a big deal or a little deal. The version that works for impact is when we entered Q3, we were facing a 15% drop in demand. By thanks to 2 targeted campaigns, we didn't just survive, we grew revenue by 12%. Same number, completely different impact. Or we grew revenue by 12% in Q3. We entered Q3 thinking this, and this, A, B, and C. X, Y, and Z happened. So we had to cut our projection. And despite all that, we grew revenue in Q3 by 12%. Totally different than we grew revenue by 12% in Q3 by itself. Same number, completely different impact depending on what you wrap around it. Why? That those two versions, it has tension, it has context, and it has payoff. Nancy Duarte, who, if you don't know Nancy Duarte Communications, they're fantastic. I call her the first Oscar winner for a PowerPoint conversation, or really, it was VP Al Gore's movie, An Inconvenient Truth, which was basically a PowerPoint conversation. And she has a whole business on storytelling, which I highly recommend that she has classes. You can go over there and take stuff from her and her team. She says, data needs story to be understood. Story needs data to be believed. So that translation to me is your point is worthless without the setup that makes people care. So how can you fix this? 1, hook before the headlines. So let's talk about Q2 campaign results. How about we ran 2 campaigns in Q2, 1 flopped, 1 crushed it. Here's why. Now I'm interested. Now I want to know what the hell happened, right? Number 2, the so what test. For every stat or story, ask, what should they care about right now? If you can't answer why they should care about this right now, don't say it, even though it's fun. Even though you think it, it'd be fun to hear, it happened during the campaign, but it didn't actually have a result. So really hone what you're saying and just keep all the relevant stuff in. and maybe put the irrelevant stuff behind, or the stuff that you like, but it's not going to help you make the point. It's more illustrative than it is declarative. Put it behind an appendix. If you have to put it behind an appendix. Number 3 way to fix this is to build the bridge. Don't dump the data. Just blah, 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 all the stats. People put those eye charts up, and here's the spreadsheet, and and you see it goes up and to the right, whatever it is, right? Walk them through your thinking. Begin with the problem. Take them in the middle. You're going to talk about what you discover during the process. In the end, what does it mean? Instead, you need to ask, what does this audience need to hear first? That means you need to know who you're talking to. You might have different presentations on the same topic to different kinds of people. 2, what will make my point land harder, stick longer? Include that. And 3, what's the clearest path from confusion to conviction? I need people to understand this and why it's important. For people who aren't in my day-to-day life, they don't understand the vagaries of, Tuesday to Wednesday to Thursday, but I need them to understand the learnings that I have and the conclusion that will lead us going forward. What's that clearest path? That clearest path is through context, important context, and an appendix of stories that belong at the bar, right? So the point is lazy advice for lazy listeners. Your job is not to be faster, it's to be better and to be fully understood. Because as we know, when people don't understand, it actually takes things longer. So take the time to deliver your data, your story, your message with the context that makes it understood within the bubble that it's in. And people will understand it faster. They'll be able to move on, incorporating that knowledge as opposed to having someone say, well, that's an hour I couldn't get back again, which you never want to be in a meeting where someone says that about your work. I've been there. I know. All right. Just get to the point doesn't often get to the point. TLDR, give them the context. All right, everybody. Until next time, I'm Lee Caraher, and this is Everything Speaks.